Hey, what's going on, everybody? You know how we get into it, so let's just go. I don't even know what to title this video because there's so many titles that are applicable, but I think it's like America has a suffering problem. I feel like it is. So I'll just explain it. Um, it's about kind of this government shutdown and healthcare and everything of that nature. So this is going to impact the fuck out of you, whether you realize it or not, that healthcare costs are literally going to go up. Every healthcare company is saying this. It's going to go up a minimum of 40%, a maximum of 120%. It's happening. And the government shutdown right now, either whether you're a Democrat or Republican, is literally about this. The Democrats are trying to get some healthcare subsidies continued from Obamacare, right? Which basically enabled 40 more million people to get healthcare in this nation, right? Like, so they're saying, hey, don't get rid of that, especially right before open enrollment next year, right before Christmas, like, and we are standing on business for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we are willing to shut down the government to make sure that these things go, right? And Republicans, and this is what they're saying on their face. This is not any spin. They're saying, hey, we're not going to do that. You need to completely agree with what we did. And if you don't, it's your fault for shutting down the government. And the reason why, and they're labeling that the Democrats are holding it is because they want to give health care to illegal immigrants. Like, that's like what they're saying. Like, and mind you, no Democrat has ever said that, but like the Republicans are really bunkering down on the reason why we're not compromising with them is because they want to give health care to undocumented immigrants. And because of that, we're willing to let the government shut down as well. Right. And so those are two of the things. And what they're banking on, right? And this is just the Republican side, like what they're truly banking on right now is that you are going to be far more upset at the notion that undocumented immigrants are getting things. Right. That's the whole thing. And I think I just want us to just break this down. Like I feel like this has not been broken down. So like let's get into it. So first of all, small digression about why, if it was even true, if undocumented immigrants were getting healthcare, why would actually benefit us, right? It would benefit everybody. And so I know anecdotally it sounds like, illegal people are getting things. How could it possibly benefit us? Like, no, it actually benefits. One, um, people that get sick go to the hospital, right? So you're not going to stop people from going to the hospital, whether they have insurance or not. If they need care, they're going to get it, right? And so, how do people that don't have any money and don't have any insurance get care? They go to the hospital, they get care. Who pays for it? We do. Taxpayers, right? So either the government pays for it, and so like there's a bunch of unclaimed things, you know what I'm saying? Like people that are unpaid pay the bills, so government like gives hospitals money to recoup that every single year for taxpayer dollars. One. And two, insurance companies also foot the bill, but they spread the average over insured people. So it's like people who have insurance, our premiums increase because hospitals are paid by insurance companies for uninsured people, right? So we actually pay money for these people already in it at a much more expensive grip. We're paying taxes and we're paying insurance companies. If we were able to just have these people have insurance and Medicaid insurance rates are much lower, people would get care and it would be a lower tax burden for all of us. And in addition, they might actually get earlier care, right, for preventative care, so you wouldn't have to go to the hospital in the first place, so it would be actually cheaper. So just anecdotally, it would be better if undocumented people actually did health insurance, right? Just economically, just get a calculator, do it your fucking self. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but I digress on that. I digress. You know what I'm saying? That it works. But let's just take Republicans at their word. Let's just say, you know what I'm saying, that like, okay, they don't want this bill because it gives undocumented people health insurance. But what are they willing to sacrifice as a result? I feel like that is the thing that we're not understanding. Like, to take away something from people. So one party is saying like, hey, we want to give something to people, right? We want to give something to people. But the other party is literally saying we want to take it away. And just look at the ethos of like what people are willing to shut down the government for. And this is just giving the Republicans the benefit of the doubt. If you're a Christian, helping the least of thee, like saying like, hey, we want to help undocumented immigrants as well because no Democrats are saying, hey, we only want to help undocumented immigrants, but like we want to keep healthcare for the rest of the nation. Like, so for the 40 plus million Americans that could lose their care, like, and it just so happens that, yes, some undocumented immigrants might get help there too, but we're actually concerned about the 40 million as opposed to like maybe the 100,000 undocumented people that might benefit from this. But Republicans are saying, we are more concerned with the 100,000 undocumented people getting it. And unless you take those motherfuckers out, what I'm saying? We not helping shit. In fact, fuck them all. And I feel like that is the mental thing we have to look at. Republicans are more concerned with fucking suffering. And they will rather have anybody suffer. But like, let's actually just give context to this particular situation. So what they want Democrats to capitulate to is the budget that they passed, their CR, right? And how did they do this? Usually budgets are negotiated. Things in Congress, they go back and forth, they take things out, whatever. This was an exclusive Republican budget. There was nothing that the Democrats got in there, right? So there was no negotiation at all, no good faith, no anything, right? So the Republicans rammed this budget down, and because they control every arm of government, they were able to do this. But they were short-sighted, right? Because the crafters of our government left some intervals in which you would have to compromise, right? For budget resolutions like this, for debt ceilings and all these things. There are other areas in which if you fuck over and don't compromise in that thing, then there are other areas that the other party has chances to get some negotiations going on. So this is one of those times Republicans knew that this was coming up. They knew when they were constructing their budget and freezing the Democrats out that they would come at this moment right here. Right? And then they knew the Democrats would do this and try and leverage some things since you cut them out before. So what are the Republicans now saying? Like the budget that they came up with that they had no compromise with, and they're basically saying, we're still not going to have any compromise. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't do exactly what we want, because we're not negotiating with you, it will be somehow your fault that the government shut down because you're not capitulating to the one-sided bill that you never agreed to in the first place. Right? And then they're taking it a step further, right? Because what happens in government shutdowns, because government shutdowns are not atypical. There was one 7 years ago. Government employees get furloughed. And now if you know what furlough basically means like an extended vacation, right? You won't be reporting to work, but your job will still be there. And when you come back, you'll get back pay, but you won't be getting paid now. That's what being furloughed is. What the Trump administration is threatening to do is fire these motherfuckers and literally dismantle the jobs permanently in the government. So it's not like they're just going to fire them and then do another rehiring process. No, they're literally getting rid of the jobs. Right? This is unprecedented. It's not happening, right? That's ridiculous. And mind you, how are they getting rid of these jobs? It's like, remember when Doge was here, when Elon Musk with the chainsaw, right? They cut so many jobs from the government. So these jobs that Trump is threatening to cut were jobs that weren't even cut by Doge. Right? So it's like these jobs were deemed mandatory even from the hatch, fucking chainsaw they were using before. Right? And getting rid of them completely and totally. Right? So cruelty is like literally the point. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just getting rid of shit just for the point of it. And ironically, this was in Project 2025, right? So it's like really the agenda that they actually wanted to do just to get the excuse to trim the government. And what happened with those Doge cuts, right? With all the cuts, they really had to reinstate about 50% of those cuts because they realized, hey, we can't run the fucking country like this. Wait, we cut too many motherfuckers. They made so many errors. And of course, that was on like the back page of the news. So it's just like, you're willing, because you're trying to gangsta Debo these motherfuckers into agreeing to a budget that they never wanted to agree to. Now you're saying, hey, if you still don't agree to this, not only are we going to shut the government down and cause all these things and like food stamps to stop and everything, but we're going to cut jobs as a result. And then you're blaming the Democrats? How are you blaming the Democrats for your choice to cut jobs? All you have to do is furlough them, right? But you are making the deliberate decision to cut jobs and end them. all because you want to force their hand and then say somehow that the Democrats are making that decision when you have all the controls of the government. And so, like, this is like literally crazy. They're literally counting on us to be fucking dumb as shit. Like, to not know anything, to not really get what's happening here, right? And it's just like we can take this as a through line for everything, bro. Like, cruelty is the fucking point. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are more concerned about a few people taking advantage of the system rather than the whole system working. Right? So it's like they would rather fucking shut down the entire government rather than having a small group of people maybe getting insurance that they shouldn't have. They would rather destroy the entire election process and voting because they are claiming to be concerned about 0.1% of potential fraud. They're willing to not raise minimum wage because they're thinking that a couple people might skirt the system, and take advantage. They want to cut all welfare benefits because they think maybe 0.1% of people are like getting something. It's like, what are we doing here? It's like, okay, there may be fraud, but you're more concerned with that little bit of fraud, but you have no concern about literally disenfranchising the overwhelming majority of people who are doing this right, who are getting the benefits that they need, who are paying to the system, but fuck it all because, oh my God, there's so much fraud over here. Like, what is going on here in our minds? And is that the Christian mindset to just fuck over everything and everyone that works? Because we're, so concerned about penalizing these people. And let's take it even further. We're a fucking penalized culture. America only has 300 something million people, and we have the most fucking criminals in the world. We arrest more people in the world. We have more jails, more people arrested, more people convicted, more people in prison. We have more murders. You know what I'm saying? It's like, something is wrong with us. Unless something's happening to us. We're in a system that's trying to promote all this shit. There's nothing different from Americans in any other country, but we have a fucking bloodlust. We have a bloodlust, a lust for penalizing people. And that is not what we're supposed to be. There's always going to be a little bit of fraud in something. There's no perfect system. Right? There's always going to be a little error in democracy. It's always going to be a little error in capitalism. There's always going to be a little. So are we just going to concentrate on the little error and just fuck every other thing up? And it allows the people to just continue to exploit us. It allows them to continue to do the things and have things like Project 2025, which they denied. And now all of a sudden it was a big part of the major plan. We just need to wake the fuck up and stop being cruel. If you're a person of faith, live by it. Live by it. If you cannot you're not the Punisher. I'm saying, that's not what any faith says. You're not vitriol. You're not retribution on earth. That's not what you're there to do. And you're willing to hurt yourself to penalize someone else. And that's pretty fucked up in the head if you think about it. Sorry, long video today, but until next time.